guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. By the title, you guys know that we're doing a little bit of talking about intermittent fasting, mostly because if you guys are subscribers of mine, and you definitely should be, you know that I am totally anti-diet culture and I don't count calories. I don't do anything that most of you guys probably do in terms of weight loss, but I'm also not necessarily trying to pursue weight loss, but I do intermittent fast. So you may be wondering, well, how is that? And I'm going to explain that to you today. I'm going to break down intermittent fasting. Well, who's it good for? What is good for? And is it really the end all be all to weight loss? So I intermittent fast. Do I do it every single day? Probably not. The thing about intermittent fasting is basically you have a window, an eating window. So the most popular intermittent fasting would probably be the 16-18, which you fast for 16 hours of the day and you eat for 8 hours. So for instance, from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. would be your eating window, and then the rest of the time you're fasting. Now you're probably asleep for a lot of that time, but you get it. Some people actually have different fasting windows. It doesn't have to actually be 16-8. Some people do 1 meal a day, and so they fast for 23 hours and they only have a 1 hour window. This is not the case for me, and for a lot of people it wouldn't be the case because you're seriously not getting a lot of time to eat. I just want to say that intermittent fasting is not like a magical solution to weight loss. A lot of people think that intermittent fasting is a type of diet, and I guess you could look at it that way. It is a weight loss tool, could be, or it could just be because it fits someone's lifestyle, which is what's true for me. I don't intermittent fast in terms of losing weight. I'm not intermittent fasting to be on a diet and restrict myself from food. It just kind of works for me, and the reason that is because when I get out of bed, I don't want to eat. I love going to the gym on an empty stomach. I hate eating before going to the gym. Today I have not went to the gym and it is 1 o'clock. It's actually 1:04. I haven't eaten anything today, and I mean I could eat. I'm a little snackish right now, but I'm not hungry. But as soon as I finish this video, I'm gonna eat. So intermittent fasting is not a magical solution to weight loss. Actually, I'm gonna tell you guys this. I've said this time after time. I feel like I'm beating a dead ass horse, but the only thing that you need for weight loss is a calorie deficit. That's literally the one thing, the only thing, calorie deficit. So the thing with intermittent fasting is that it is supposed to, or it intends to put you in a calorie deficit, only because if you're only eating for 8 hours or whatever eating hour window that you have, it's a lot less likely that you would eat more calories that you would need, but it's still possible. So intermittent fasting doesn't have to actually result into weight loss, because if when you do eat, you're eating 3,000 to 4,000 calories, then there would not be a calorie deficit, hence no weight loss. Hence, don't get mad at intermittent fasting for you eating too many calories. That's not exactly what it's for. Take from that this: intermittent fasting or not, your calories still need to be in check. So basically you still can't just eat whatever you want. I mean, you can, as far as don't cut out certain food groups. I'm a big believer that you should not be cutting out certain food groups, but you can't have a dozen donuts in your 8 hour window, then also have McDonald's, and also go to Starbucks, and also have a pint of ice cream when you get home, because I'm pretty sure that that's going to be a calorie surplus. For a normal person, that would definitely be a calorie surplus. So I'm just going to say for you, it would be a calorie surplus. Also, if intermittent fasting is something that you're just doing to lose weight, it may not work, because it's not going to be a long-term thing, because you're just doing it for now and you actually like to eat during the day. So now I just want to talk about who intermittent fasting is actually good for and who probably shouldn't be concerned with intermittent fasting. A breakdown: intermittent fasting is literally just skipping a meal. That's all that it is. If you like to go to the gym on an empty stomach like me, if that doesn't bother you, intermittent fasting is for you. If you like to have larger meals throughout the day instead of smaller meals, intermittent fasting is for you. If you do not like to eat breakfast, or you just aren't hungry when you first wake up, intermittent fasting is for you. Now, if you're a person that loves to snack and you like to have 4, 5, 6 little meals during the day, intermittent fasting ain't it, sis. If you do not feel comfortable going to the gym on an empty stomach and you go to the gym as soon as you wake up, intermittent fasting, it ain't it. If you think that just by putting yourself in a particular window to eat, that intermittent fasting will help result into weight loss, intermittent fasting just ain't it. There's multiple reasons why one would want to intermittent fasting or not, and nothing's either better than the other one if you're looking in terms of weight loss, because again, it all goes back to a calorie deficit. Now, I know that intermittent fasting supposedly, because I haven't done any research, so I don't know, it's supposedly to have other health benefits. But let's just be real, a lot of people are using it for a weight loss tool. So me in particular, again, I don't really use intermittent fasting. I am intermittent fasting, and it's only because I just don't like to eat when I wake up. I've actually had people comment in my videos telling me that you know, because I have pre-workout, I'm not technically intermittent fasting. And I also have people say like, well, does gum break your fast, you know, like, because it's like 5 calories, or this, if I just have a sip of juice. Stop right there. This is the thing. If you're worried about gum breaking your intermittent fasting or pre-workout, for instance, then you are worried about the wrong thing, only because you're not really thinking about calories in and out. Because that 5 calorie stick of gum, really? That pre-workout that I think is about 10 calories, really? Do you really think that's gonna halt or stop your weight loss goals? Because if so, then we need to also go back and revisit what I just said. A calorie deficit is the only thing that creates weight loss. I kind of get a little irritated when people tell me that, and I know that most of the time it's coming from a good place, but this is the thing. I'm not intermittent fasting for weight loss. I'm not even really trying to intermittent fast. I just don't eat when I wake up. I don't eat for 5-6 hours after I wake up, and I typically eat 1 to 2 meals a day, and that's it. So it's still fasting because I'm not eating all day. I don't even really like to snack, and I hate small meals. Like, if I'm gonna eat, let's go big or go home. And that's what intermittent fasting is really designed for. People that like to have these larger meals. So that is what I have to say about intermittent fasting. If anybody has any questions, you already know I am an open book. Hit the comment box below and I'll be glad to talk about it. If you have anything to say that may not be the nicest thing, or you're just gonna talk out of your ass, you may want to keep that, because I mean, there's nothing for me to do with unsolicited comments or facts that probably aren't even true. But go ahead and leave it in the comment box if you feel the need to do so. Anyway, guys, you guys know I like to play the emoji game when I remember to do so. So if you guys could just drop me like a watch, a clock, something that tells time in the description box, because this is about intermittent fasting, then I would absolutely appreciate it and love you, and know that you stayed here for the whole video, and I'm so grateful. But with that being said, thanks as always, guys, for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one.